Nagawa na lang siya. Naka full screen na siya. Okay. So, amo na ito nga topic. Okay, so outline overview na naton. Identify the stages of solving a problem using the computer. And define the computer-based problem solving, computer-based problem solving process. So, dira na natin ang flowchart algorithm. Identify the importance of problem analysis, having the workable model, and also definition uses ng algorithm natin in flowcharts. So, terms naman natin ng mga kailangan natin nga mag get to familiar with this phrase na. Problem analysis, mga algorithms, flowchart, coding, compilation, execution, debugging, testing, and documentation. So, by concept naman natin doon, no? Ang una gid is we go back naman sa definitions ng software. So that is a set of programs written to solve a particular problem and is the basis of which computer gives output or result. Pero ang question natin diri is kung sa lahat ng instruction, no, instructions are not correct, of course ang aton nga output masala man. So basing on the software and how we develop a software, we should be able to identify kung ano yung dapat nga set of programs ang aton ibutang in order to solve this particular problem nga kailangan naton i-resolve. So take note, just writing the code is not sufficient to solve a problem. So because of that reasoning, programs must be planned before coding in any computer language available. So there are many activities to be done before and after writing the code. So before writing the code, dira na tama about the planning. We should go with how the code will execute that that process and how the instructions nga proper instructions nga ihatag natin sa code, which the computer will later on convert kag i-execute nat niya sa iya nga computer language. So in problem solving, using the computer by its proper term, it is a systematic process of designing, implementing, and using programming tools during the problem solving stage. So ang method niya na enables the computer system to be more intuitive with human logic than machine logic. Sa mga bagay tayo mas preferred ginato niya maging human logic siya rather than machine logic. So it depends on how we instruct the computer system, no, so it can execute kung ano ginaton gusto nga ipobra siya. So the final outcome of this process are the software tools that are dedicated to solving problems under consideration. And these instructions on the software need to be well specified for solving the problem. And then after its creation, we should expect the software to be error-free and well documented. Although most of the time, amo ni karon ng aton nga problem solving process is hindi naman i-expect dayon nga pag tapos ng creation software, automatic na nga wala na siya error. So kung we go naman to sa mo ng stage naton nga debugging, so we will check the software, no, ang program nga na for any errors or bugs, tapos note naton or document ang each of those errors, tapos we'll then try to fix it by checking on the code naman sa coding stage. We'll go back to the coding stage, check the errors, and then test the program again or software. So software development, the process of creating such software to satisfy the end user's requirements and needs. So in the stages, as hint ko na itong kagina, no, you know, my learning 1, 2, and 3, pero ang initially ang magining pito niya ito niya, no, stages and steps in solving the problem using the computer. So we start first with the problem definition, no, problem analysis. So after we define the problem, ilang tawon tagid, ano ang problema, ano ang initial ginya scenario sang amo na problem, which we will try to solve by using a program or software. that will be developed in order to solve it. So after that, din ang problem analysis. Diri na problem analysis diri na naton nga no. Masulod man yung mga algorithm in flowchart. So once nga ma-check na yung analysis niya, we will go to algorithm design. So algorithms ma-visualize nato anong problem. Then later on ma-convert na sa into programming language nato no sa programming level na through program development. And then sa 5, program verification na yun after initiating the initial code no for the program. And then verification is by testing for debugging no, for initial nga test niya. So once nga ma-verify natin nga working na gid siya, we'll go with the documentation no, on how this specific program or software can be used or can be kung paano ang iya functions, and then later on maintenance and modification. So if you'll notice, ang isa giniga ito yung best example sa maintenance and modification kung pero na sa aton nga mga ano no, mga cellphone apps na no. Makita nyo na may mga ano siya, may mga change logs na sila. Kung inabasa nyo na kung update ka mo sa inyong application, example, mayroon na mga apps inyong cellphone. Check nyo na sa Google Play no, may Google Update no. May list na da. So kung i-open nyo ang isa ka specific app na da, makita mo na changes logs kung ano pang isla nila or yung update nila. So that is an example of your maintenance and modification. So dila na lang try nga kayo ang app nga na or ang program, or later on kung may butang silang dugang na features sa mga program, there na din misulod ang aton nga mga modification term. So managasige na sila update later on kay buti na may mga additional nga features or mas ginapanami na gid nila ang program, lesser errors, more na gid sa function nga mas maka-benefit na gid kag mas fully functional na gid ang amo nga program or app. So sa problem analysis naman, sa step 2 tagina, that is the process of defining a problem and decomposing the overall system into smaller parts to identify the possible inputs, processes, and outputs associated with the problem. By its various definitions, sa mga website ko na check no, it is defined as an investigation of the cause of an incident, issue, or failure. So this is done to identify improvements to systems, processes, procedures, designs, and culture. That this is basically sa general definition ng problem analysis no, not on the computer level man. So kay Albert Einstein naman, it is a theory through which we observe a situation that decides what we can observe. So medyo pa yung kung initially mo basa medyo pa sa big pa. Pero we will see nga sa aton nga program level nga problem analysis mas mas ma-implement kag mas maklaruhan ta na gid sa kung ano ni Einstein. So subtask of problem analysis, may anom na nga subtask no. Yun is also followed by these steps 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ni. So specifying the objective, we need to know what problem is actually being solved. So may malista na sa objective or kung anong output kanal naton. Then we specify the output naman sa step 2. We need to identify what comes out of the system. And then specifying input requirements, the one that needs to identify the list of inputs required in the source of data. Ano ang kinahanglan ta mga for example, ano mga materials ang kinahanglan ta or any other programs or reference nga pwede natin gamiton as inputs and source of data sa aton nga problem analysis. And then we specify processes processing requirements in step 4. We need to specify process that converts specified inputs into desired output. After that, we evaluate on feasibility. The one needs to see whether the things accomplished so far in the process of problem solving are practical and feasible. So given naman sa sa end user naman yung setup, kung anong practicability sang amo nga solution nga ubron naton para ma-solve ning ang certain nga scenarios ang isa ka problem. And then for documentation naman ang last naton nga part, record whatever is done so far in the first phase of the program development. So as we ma-set up na mga objectives, mga output, mga input requirements, processing requirements, visibility, it needs to be documented para makip track kita kung ano pang mga kung ano naubra ganong base kung may mga kulang miss out naton, which later on pwede naton nga may dugang through sa final tong steps sa aton nga modification step. Once ma-document naton nga to kung may mga na kulang nga wala pa na add nga supposedly na define na diri sa column analysis, amo tong i-add naton sa amo tong setup. And then program design. So this stage of after the analysis na we would go now to how to make this program user friendly, feasible, optimized. So it consists of three parts ng preparation naton, the algorithm, the flow charts, and the pseudocodes. So far, by definition naman, an algorithm is a finite sequence of well-defined instructions typically used to solve a class of specific problems or to perform a computation. Sa definition naman sa flowcharts, a diagrammatic representation of an algorithm, a step-by-step approach to solving a task, and it represents a diagram nga you can visualize the workflow process of the overall problem solving naton nga diagram. So sa pseudocodes naman, in the terms of computer science, it is a plain language description of the steps in an algorithm or another system. So it is often used for structural conventions of a normal programming language, but it's intended for human reading rather than machine reading. So pseudocodes, we use it to represent ang parts ng algorithm, part of the instructions sa algorithm. We use descriptions here, which we call as pseudocodes. So for an algorithm naman, characteristics niya, a step-by-step procedure to solving a problem in a finite number of steps. So mga finite, may limit, may number ta nga ma-identify to be able to solve this problem. So a finite set of well-defined instructions and a step-by-step description of the procedure written in human readable language to solve a given problem. So given its characteristics, finiteness, finite number of steps, and it should end after a finite time. Then it should have an input. It may have many inputs or no inputs at all. And also it should result at least one output. And the definiteness, so each step must be clear, well-defined, and precise. And there should be no any ambiguity. So definite by its root keyword is definite siya. Also its effectiveness, so each step must be simple and should take a finite amount of time. So ang definition naman natin sa flowcharts, a diagrammatic representation of an algorithm. So ang algorithm is mostly written sa words using pseudocodes. Ang flowchart naman, it will go with diagram, so you can picture out it will represent the workflow process and the step-by-step approach to solving a task. So the outline, the structure, and the logic of the algorithm, the sequence of a set of operations to be followed in solving the problem. In its common characteristics niya, graphical siya, representation steps, and it will clearly indicates the task to be performed at each level, and it is a simple way to communicate for the end user kung paano niya ma-picture out ang process sang isa ka problem solving. It does not require the use of programming language, and amo na it aids the planning and design of the system. And for symbols, overall amo ni tanan nga symbols nga pwede nyo magamit in making this flowchart. So different flowchart shape have different conventional meanings and meaning most common shapes naman eh. So example, yung mga terminator, process, decision, naman yung iban. Not necessarily yung gamiton, dagay nito na, no? Pero for example, or matalo sa mga common nga symbols ng flowchart nga gamiton naton. Pero kung once nga kung mag-go nyo gud nga sa sort of programming language level nga i-represent nyo using flowcharts, there's a high chance nga magamit di ka mo ng iban. Example, mga like this mga on-page connector, mga logical OR. So tala ni kay may discuss naman sa mga later topics, mga muna representation nila, also using database and storage, mga merge naman. And amo na yung aton nga commonly symbols. We only need at least 5. So start and naton is represented by this oval representing a start or end point. And then we have arrow, no? So arrows are your connectors. It shows relationship between the representative shapes. So not only connector but also mo na gina-point niya kung din nga pakadto ang flow na sa aton nga flow chart. And then input or output, parallelogram na nga shape, no? Amo na yung representation. And kung mag-process naman, it is a rectangle. And for decision, we use a diamond shape symbol to represent decision natin. Usually decision natin is yes or no man lang. Ang common gin nga decision step natin is dual lang. So we have flowchart examples. Nagkuha ko ni sa may sa aton nga kumbaga sa aton nga day to day nga nga ginobra. We can represent those by using a flowchart. So example, what to watch on TV. What kind of TV should I watch? So we start with start natin stay at home. And then ang arrow, the process is watch TV. And then we go with the decision, no? Watch comedy, yes. Kung yes, bibang theory example. And then kung no naman, we go with another decision, no? Should we watch thriller shows? Yes, kung yes, tama. Kung no naman, we have another nga decision naman nga symbol. Should we watch mystery shows? Kung yes, example, we go to the and then kung no, ma-process naman na turn off TV and then go with another pastime. Amo naton nga end point ang output naton. We go with another activity within sa balay. Example 2, wala na siya galing input but it has an output. Should I say hi when I forget a person's name? Maning decision na initially, do you have time to flee? So kung yes, mo nilagyo ka, run quickly in process and then output na. No need to say hi. So kung no naman, are you wearing sunglasses? Yes or no. Kung yes, keep walking lang, di mo na siya makita. Then no need to say hi mo na yung output. Hindi kung no naman, could you pretend to get a call? So kung yes, ang gesture mo na is to get your cell phone and then say hello kunabi. Then no need to say hi. Then kung no naman, wala ka na choice. Go to say hi without calling his or her name. So, sa practical example naton, example number 3, going sa shopping, no? Shopping for new dresses, flowchart. So, the input naton is you need to buy a dress. So, ang process usually makadto ka sa mall, go to a mall na nga process, and then stop at one store. And then next na nga process, walk around to pick a dress, the sauce, isuso ko ni testingan kung kaigo. So we go with this decision. Is the size okay? So yes and no. So kung no, take another piece, with another size, tapos try it on naman. Mabalik naman siya, is the size okay? Kung yes, makadto naman siya next nga decision, does it fit you well? So, duwa. So, kung no, naman may option tadi. Actually, medyo namin siya kayo complication. Kung no, now you want to see more, kung wala na, go to the next store. And kung yes, mo naman mabalik siya di. Makita ka naman sa dress to try on. So, balik naman siya di. But if the fit no sakto na sa fit, you should check the price. Ang next nga process, and then you will decide if the price okay. So if it's okay, you go with yes na, you buy the cloth. And kung no naman, you get to sa diri naman ta nga decision makadto. Want to see more, so if you want to see more, then kadto ka naman sa yes, tapos walk around to check another dress. So given ni galing mostly wala naman sa output, but after sinisang buy it, manigarong end, you can have another output here nga end of shopping. So mo tong three na tong example, you can also have mathematical examples diri. So in creating a flow chart, you can check on what what the current scenario nga ginhatag na sang ato na problem. Sa bonus example naton diri, you have to display the sum of 5 and 10. So this is example of a mathematical scenario, no? So in algorithm, we only need to identify dua. So you compute the sum of 5 and 10, and about nga aton nga equation, the sum is equals to 5 plus 10, and then print sum. Kung print sum, amo nang hambal na ito output. Pero balon ni subong using sa aton nga using starting from the scratch using our Canva nga dashboard. So i-stop ko na yan ay. So some example, no? Based on our commonly used symbols, we'll try to have an output to sa duwa to ka sa example aton when finding the sum. So usually kung dito start, no, we use oblong to start. So kung dito sa Canva makita ko isa. We'll have wala sa oblong nga shape out. Ano lang ko namin. Just change the colors. Lock. So start today. We'll add text. Then use arrow. Given so drag and drop mo na yun sa CPro for presentation lang. And then we use the input, input input symbol. the initialize na ang sum as 0. So we use this is also here, no? Nakita nyo di preparation. Ang preparation ta nga part indicates a modification of a process, no? Setting a switch or initializing a routine. So preparation naton butang to ni nga sum as 0. So we write a text now. Sum is equals to 0. Then change lang sa white. After that, we use naman na yung sa ka-arrow to kagina. Pwede ito makita ang tip nyo. Pwede ito naman yung idog. Sa lapit. So, add na yung sum. Then use arrow. Copy-paste nyo lang. Add nyo lang di. And then you add the process. Ang process natin yan is square, no? Rectangle. So we use the element na ang square to na usually rectangle naman siya if we go with wala na siya. Don't mind the colors, no? Pero ito naman just okay. So ang process natin ng rectangle mo tanggal next. In adding the formula ang atong equation kanina, just copy paste mo naman tapos butang sa body of text and paste tapos slide nyo lang ang color. So this is the process. Sum is equals to sum 5 plus 10. And then ang next output niya is to print out the sum. Tama ng second today. So kung mag-print ka is naman na the same parallelogram as your output symbol. Just lang na yun. Then we will have the parallelogram na output there's the dalawang using the elements ng polymerity. Siya. Hindi ma-resize dalawang okay. Yun, gusto lang na. So na output yan isa na ang sum of 5 plus 10, no? Or kung print sum na to, isa mo ito yung butang ng text. Print sum. Also using ang puti nga symbol. So since hindi pa siya kaigo, we can move it. Print sum na file. Output and then since wala naman sa ibang i-process diretso na sa end, so we copy this one. Kung ano ba pating start. Wala siya. Select, butang mo sa D. And then change the text lang. And so man yato nga ano no, mathematical equation naton on how we come up with the algorithm kung mo ning flowchart nga ano flowchart creation naton for getting the sum of 5 and 10. So since print sum, you can also have actual number din butang mo no. So kung ano yung result, you can have print sum equals to 15 to indicate ang values ang i-print out nga result sa nga equation. So that's an example. Any questions about that creation of your flowchart from the algorithm? Do clear man siya kay later on may mga pa-activity mo kung do using mathematical equations man tapos obrahan nyo sang sang flowchart. And kung sa algorithm bro maski ang lang basic lang yun niya steps ng ibutang nyo. Question?
Wala naman, sir.
Lugat siya man so far. Mga budlay sa galing kung amoni kung sa kung sa Canva, pero kung ating sa MS Word may ara na nga option nga ang mga sa shapes nila pwede nyo na gamit nila sa insert shapes. May mga flowchart na madadara. Ito may ara sila flowchart makita ko dito mo. May isa sila ka row nga puro flowchart symbols ang pwede nyo magamit. So preferably kung mag-obra ka mo flowchart sa MS Word na lang i-generate. So wala ma-break na 5 minutes.